Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine when talking to someone? Or maybe you've left a conversation feeling completely drained, like all your energy was sucked away. If so, you might have encountered someone possessed by demons or an energy vampire. These aren't just characters from scary movies or old stories. They're real, and they're all around us. But don't worry, because today we're going to learn how to spot them and protect ourselves. Knowing how to identify people controlled by demons or energy vampires is like having a superpower. It's not about pointing fingers or judging others. It's about keeping yourself safe and spiritually strong. Think of it as a spiritual self-defense class. Just like you learn to protect your body in a dangerous situation, we're going to learn how to shield our spirit from harm. You might be wondering, why should I care about this? Well, imagine walking through a forest full of poisonous plants. If you don't know what they look like, you might accidentally touch one and get hurt. But if you know how to spot them, you can avoid them and enjoy your walk safely. It's the same with demon-possessed people and energy vampires. They can harm your spiritual and emotional well-being if you're not careful. But once you know what to look for, you can protect yourself and even help others. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we're in a spiritual battle. The world isn't just what we can see with our eyes. There's an unseen realm where forces of good and evil are constantly at work. Demon possession and energy vampires are part of this unseen world, but they have very real effects on our visible world. By learning to spot them, we're not just protecting ourselves. We're becoming active participants in this spiritual struggle. As we dive into this topic, think of it as a journey of discovery. We're going to explore signs and symptoms, learn about different behaviors, and uncover the secrets of the spiritual world. It's like being a detective, piecing together clues to solve a mystery. And the mystery we're solving is one that affects us all. The mystery of why some people make us feel uneasy, drained, or even scared. Let's start by talking about demon possession. Now, this isn't like what you see in movies with heads spinning around and people climbing on ceilings. Real demon possession is often much more subtle. It's when an evil spirit takes control of a person's thoughts, actions, and even their body. But how can we tell if someone is truly possessed? There are several signs that might indicate demon possession. The person might suddenly know things they shouldn't know, like private details about your life that you never told them. They might speak in languages they've never learned. Some possessed people show unusual physical strength, able to do things that seem impossible for their body type or size. But here's the thing, and this is really important. Not all unusual behavior means someone is possessed by a demon. Sometimes, people act strangely because they're sick, or stressed, or dealing with mental health issues. We need to be careful not to jump to conclusions. It's about looking at the whole picture, not just one or two strange things. One of the most common signs of demon possession is a feeling of dread or unease when you're around the person. It's like a heaviness in the air, a darkness that you can almost touch. You might feel scared or anxious for no clear reason. Your body might react too. You might get goosebumps or feel your heart racing. These feelings are your spiritual alarm system, warning you that something isn't right. Another big sign is sudden, dramatic changes in personality. Someone who was always kind and gentle might become violent and aggressive. Or a person who was outgoing and happy might suddenly become withdrawn and depressed. Of course, people's moods can change for many reasons. But with demon possession, these changes are extreme and don't have any obvious cause. They say the eyes are the window to the soul, and this is especially true when it comes to demon possession. Look into the person's eyes. Do they seem empty, like no one's home? Or maybe they have a strange, intense look that makes you want to turn away. Some people report seeing a change in eye color or a strange glow. While this might sound like something from a movie, many people who have encountered demon-possessed individuals describe this eerie change in the eyes. One of the clearest signs of demon possession is how the person reacts to spiritual or religious things. They might become extremely agitated or aggressive when they hear prayer or see religious symbols. Even if they were religious before, they might suddenly hate anything to do with their faith. They might not be able to say words like God or Jesus without becoming angry or distressed. Demon possession can also cause strange physical symptoms. The person might have unexplained marks or bruises on their body. They might experience extreme pain that doctors can't explain. Some people report feeling like something is moving inside them. These physical signs often go hand in hand with the emotional and spiritual symptoms we've talked about. Another sign that many people report is a change in the person's voice. It might become deeper or have a strange accent. Sometimes, the possessed person might speak in a voice that doesn't sound human at all. This is often combined with saying things that seem out of character, using words or phrases that the person wouldn't normally use. In some cases, demon-possessed individuals might show abilities that seem supernatural. They might be able to move objects without touching them, or know things about people and places they've never been to. They might predict future events with uncanny accuracy. While these abilities might seem impressive or even useful, they come at a terrible cost to the person's soul and well-being. As we talk about these signs, it's crucial to remember the importance of discernment. Discernment means being able to judge well, to see clearly what's really going on. Not everyone who acts strangely or seems troubled is possessed by a demon. Many of these signs could also be symptoms of mental illness, drug use, or other problems. We need to be careful and compassionate, not quick to label someone as possessed. If you truly believe someone is possessed, it's not something you should try to handle on your own. This is a serious spiritual issue that requires help from experienced spiritual leaders. Many religions have specific rituals or practices for dealing with demon possession. The important thing is to seek help from trusted, knowledgeable sources. While we're learning to identify demon possession in others, it's also important to know how to protect yourself. Maintaining a strong spiritual practice, whatever that means for your belief system, can act as a shield against demonic influences. Prayer, meditation, and staying connected to a supportive spiritual community can all help keep you spiritually strong and resistant to negative forces. Remember, even when dealing with something as dark as demon possession, love and light are powerful forces. Approaching the situation with fear and negativity only feeds the darkness. Instead, cultivate compassion, both for the possessed person and for yourself. This doesn't mean putting yourself in danger, but it does mean maintaining a perspective of hope and healing. Now, let's shift gears and talk about energy vampires. Unlike demon possession, which is a spiritual attack, energy vampires are people who drain your emotional and mental energy. They're not possessed by evil spirits, but their behavior can be just as harmful to your well-being. An energy vampire is someone who leaves you feeling exhausted, drained, and negative after you interact with them. It's like they suck all the positive energy out of you, leaving you feeling empty and tired. These people aren't doing this on purpose most of the time. They often have their own emotional issues that cause them to seek energy from others in unhealthy ways. One common type of energy vampire is the constant complainer. No matter what's happening, they always find something negative to focus on. They might call you just to list all the things going wrong in their life without ever asking about you. After talking to them, you feel weighed down by all their problems, as if they've transferred their negative energy to you. Another type of energy vampire is the drama queen or king. Everything in their life is a crisis, and they always need your help to solve it. They might call you at all hours, demanding your attention for their latest emergency. While it's good to be there for friends, these people take it to an extreme, leaving you feeling like you're responsible for managing their life. Narcissists are classic energy vampires. They're completely focused on themselves and their needs, with little regard for others. They might dominate conversations, always turning the topic back to themselves. They crave attention and admiration, and can become angry or manipulative if they don't get it. Being around a narcissist can leave you feeling invisible and drained. The victim is an energy vampire who always sees themselves as helpless and persecuted. Nothing is ever their fault, and they're always being treated unfairly by the world. They might seek your sympathy constantly, but never take any advice or try to improve their situation. After a while, you feel frustrated and drained by their refusal to take responsibility for their life. Just like with demon possession, being around an energy vampire can cause physical symptoms. You might feel suddenly tired, get a headache, or feel tension in your body. Some people describe it as a heaviness, like they're carrying a weight. Pay attention to how your body feels around different people. It can be a good indicator of who might be draining your energy. The emotional impact of energy vampires can be significant. You might find yourself dreading interactions with certain people. You might feel anxious, irritable, or depressed after spending time with them. Over time, constant exposure to energy vampires can lead to burnout, affecting your overall mental health and well-being. Energy vampires are often experts at making you feel guilty. They might say things like, "If you really cared about me, you'd do this," or "I guess I'm just not important to you." This manipulation is designed to make you give them more of your time and energy, even when it's not healthy for you. One key characteristic of energy vampires is that they often have poor boundaries. They might call you at inappropriate times, share too much personal information too quickly, or expect you to drop everything to attend to their needs. They may get upset or offended if you try to set healthy boundaries with them. Interestingly, some energy vampires might initially make you feel good. They might be charismatic and exciting to be around at first, but over time, you realize that the relationship is one-sided. They're using your energy to feel good, but not giving anything back. It's like a sugar high, feels great at first, but leaves you crashed and drained later. Energy vampires often use manipulative behaviors to get what they want. They might use flattery to make you feel special, then ask for favors. Or they might play on your sympathy, always having a sad story to tell. Some use passive-aggressive behavior, making snide comments or giving backhanded compliments. Learning to spot these behaviors is key to protecting yourself. It's important to understand that energy vampires are not the same as demon-possessed individuals. Energy vampires are regular people with unhealthy emotional patterns. They're not controlled by evil spirits, and their behavior, while harmful, is rooted in psychological issues rather than spiritual attack. Understanding this difference is crucial for knowing how to respond and protect yourself. Dealing with energy vampires can have a significant impact on your life if you don't recognize and address the issue. You might find yourself constantly exhausted, struggling to enjoy things you once loved. Your other relationships might suffer because you don't have enough energy left for positive interactions. Your work or studies might be affected as your mental and emotional resources are drained. When dealing with energy vampires, self-care becomes incredibly important. This means taking time to recharge, setting clear boundaries, and prioritizing your own well-being. It might mean limiting your time with certain people or learning to say no to demands on your energy. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. Many people who are targeted by energy vampires are naturally empathetic. You might be someone who easily feels and understands others' emotions. While empathy is a beautiful quality, it's important to learn the difference between empathy and absorption. You can understand and care about someone's feelings without taking them on as your own. Learning this balance is key to protecting your energy. As we learn to identify and protect ourselves from energy vampires, it's also important to cultivate forgiveness. Remember, most energy vampires aren't acting maliciously. They're often struggling with their own issues and don't realize the impact of their behavior. Forgiving them, which doesn't mean allowing their behavior to continue, can help you release any negative energy you've absorbed from them. Just as we talked about spiritual protection with demon possession, we can also create energetic boundaries to protect ourselves from energy vampires. This might involve visualizing a protective light around you, using grounding techniques, or simply being mindful of your own energy levels and interactions. These practices can help you maintain your positive energy even when dealing with draining individuals. As you learn to identify and protect yourself from energy vampires, it becomes even more important to cultivate positive relationships. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, who give as much as they take in the relationship. These positive connections can help replenish your energy and provide a contrast that makes it easier to spot energy-draining relationships. While our focus is on protecting ourselves, it's worth noting that energy vampires can change. If you have a close relationship with someone who displays these behaviors, you might choose to have an open, honest conversation with them about how their behavior affects you. Some people, when made aware of their impact, are willing to work on themselves and develop healthier relationship patterns. Whether you're dealing with potential demon possession or energy vampires, one of the most important tools you have is your own instinct. If something feels off about an interaction or relationship, pay attention to that feeling. Your intuition is often picking up on subtle cues that your conscious mind hasn't processed yet. Learning to trust and act on these instincts is a powerful way to protect your spiritual and emotional well-being. As we wrap up this section, remember that identifying demon possession and energy vampires is an ongoing journey. It's not about becoming paranoid or seeing threats everywhere, but about developing a keen awareness that allows you to navigate the world more safely and positively. This knowledge is a tool. Use it wisely and compassionately. When we talk about demon possession, it's not just about feelings or spiritual sensations. There are often physical signs that can be observed. These signs can be startling and even frightening, but understanding them is key to identifying potential cases of possession. One of the most common physical signs of demon possession is unusual physical strength. We're not talking about someone who's been hitting the gym regularly. This is strength that goes beyond what's humanly possible. Imagine a small, frail person suddenly able to overpower several strong adults, or someone lifting objects that should be far too heavy for them. This supernatural strength often comes in bursts and can be accompanied by violent behavior. Another physical sign to watch for is sudden, inexplicable changes in appearance. This might be subtle, like a person's face seeming to shift or distort momentarily. Or it could be more dramatic, like their eyes changing color or their skin taking on an unnatural hue. Some witnesses have reported seeing shadows moving across a possessed person's face or body, even in well-lit rooms. We touched on this earlier, but it's worth exploring in more depth. A change in voice is one of the most commonly reported physical signs of demon possession. The possessed person's voice might become dramatically deeper or take on a raspy, inhuman quality. In some cases, they might speak in languages they've never learned, a phenomenon known as xenoglossia. This isn't just speaking in tongues or making random sounds. It's speaking fluently in a real language the person has no knowledge of. In some cases of demon possession, unexplained physical marks or wounds may appear on the person's body. These might look like scratches, bruises, or even burns. They often appear suddenly and in places that would be difficult for the person to injure themselves. These marks might form patterns or symbols, or they might seem random. Either way, they can't be explained by normal means. Another physical sign often reported is extreme changes in body temperature. The possessed person might feel ice cold to the touch, even in a warm room, or they might burn with fever that doesn't respond to normal medical treatment. Some witnesses have reported feeling sudden cold spots in the room when in the presence of a possessed person. Demon possession can sometimes manifest in unnatural body movements. This might be subtle, like joints bending the wrong way, or more obvious, like the body contorting into impossible positions. Some possessed individuals have been reported to move in ways that defy the laws of physics, like sliding across the floor without using their limbs or climbing walls like an insect. While these physical signs can be indicators of demon possession, it's crucial to remember that many of them can also be symptoms of various medical conditions. Unusual strength might be a result of a manic episode or certain drugs. Changes in voice could be due to a neurological condition. Unexplained marks might be signs of self-harm or an undiagnosed skin condition. This is why it's so important to seek medical evaluation before jumping to conclusions about demon possession. A thorough medical check can rule out physical causes and provide crucial information if spiritual intervention is needed. While demon possession has dramatic physical signs, the impact of energy vampires is often more subtle but no less real. The effects are primarily emotional and energetic, but they can manifest in physical ways too. Let's explore how you might feel in the presence of an energy vampire. The most common feeling after interacting with an energy vampire is extreme tiredness. It's not just normal fatigue after a long conversation. This is a bone-deep exhaustion that hits you suddenly. You might have been feeling fine before the interaction, but afterwards, you feel like you could sleep for days. This tiredness isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional too. You might find it hard to concentrate or make decisions after dealing with an energy vampire. Energy vampires often leave you feeling emotionally unstable. You might experience sudden mood swings during or after interacting with them. One moment you're feeling okay, the next you're angry, sad, or anxious for no apparent reason. This emotional turmoil can be confusing and distressing, especially if you're usually emotionally stable. Many people report feeling a strange pressure or heaviness in their chest when around energy vampires. It's like a weight pressing down on you, making it hard to breathe freely. This sensation often goes hand in hand with feelings of anxiety or stress. Your body is literally feeling the strain of the energy drain. Physical pain is another common reaction to energy vampires. You might develop a headache during or after interactions with them. Some people experience body aches, particularly in the neck, shoulders, or back. These pains often can't be explained by any physical activity and tend to ease once you're away from the energy vampire. When you're in the presence of an energy vampire, you might feel an overwhelming urge to get away. Your body and mind are sensing the drain on your energy and are trying to protect you. You might find yourself making excuses to leave conversations early or avoiding situations where you know the energy vampire will be present. Energy vampires can drain your enthusiasm for life. Things you usually enjoy might seem less appealing after interacting with them. You might find yourself canceling plans or avoiding activities you normally love because you just don't have the energy or motivation anymore. This loss of joy is a clear sign that someone is negatively impacting your energy levels. Many energy vampires have a way of making everything about them. As a result, you might start to feel invisible or unimportant when you're around them. Your opinions, feelings, and needs are ignored or dismissed. Over time, this can lead to a decrease in self-esteem and confidence. One of the challenging things about dealing with energy vampires is that their effect can linger long after the interaction is over. You might find yourself replaying conversations in your head, feeling angry or upset about things they said or did. This ongoing drain on your mental and emotional energy can be just as taxing as the initial interaction. While energy vampires primarily affect you emotionally and mentally, these effects can manifest physically. You might experience digestive issues, sleep problems, or a weakened immune system if you're constantly exposed to energy-draining individuals. Your body is responding to the stress and strain of these interactions. Learning to recognize how you feel around different people is crucial for protecting yourself from energy vampires. Start paying attention to your energy levels before, during, and after interactions. If you consistently feel drained after spending time with someone, that's a clear sign they might be an energy vampire. This awareness is the first step in protecting your emotional and energetic well-being. When it comes to identifying demon possession, spiritual signs can be some of the most telling indicators. These signs often manifest in ways that go beyond the physical or emotional realm, tapping into a deeper, more intangible aspect of our existence. One of the most commonly reported spiritual signs of demon possession is the presence of a dark or oppressive aura around the person. Those who are sensitive to energy or auras might see this as a dark cloud or shadow surrounding the individual. Even if you can't see auras, you might feel this darkness as a heaviness in the air or a sense of dread when you're near the person. A person under demonic influence often shows an extreme, almost violent reaction to anything spiritual or religious. This goes beyond simple disbelief or disinterest. We're talking about a visceral, sometimes physical reaction to religious symbols, prayer, or sacred texts. The possessed person might become agitated, aggressive, or even physically ill when exposed to these things. Another spiritual sign of demon possession is the demonstration of knowledge that the person shouldn't have. This could be speaking in languages they've never learned, knowing intimate details about strangers' lives, or having information about past or future events that they couldn't possibly know through normal means. This supernatural knowledge often has a dark or unsettling quality to it. People in the presence of a demon-possessed individual often report feeling a sense of spiritual oppression. This might manifest as a feeling of heaviness, like the air itself is pressing down on you. You might feel an inexplicable sense of fear or dread, even if nothing overtly threatening is happening. This spiritual oppression can be so strong that it affects everyone in the vicinity of the possessed person. If you or others attempt to engage in spiritual practices around a demon-possessed person, you might find these practices disrupted in strange ways. Candles might repeatedly blow out for no reason. Electronic devices might malfunction, or you might find it unusually difficult to concentrate or remember the words to prayers or mantras. It's as if there's an unseen force actively working against your spiritual efforts. While not exclusive to demon possession, an increase in night terrors, sleep paralysis, or vivid, disturbing nightmares can be a spiritual sign of demonic influence. The possessed person might report seeing dark figures or experiencing a sense of evil presence during these episodes. Those living with or near a possessed person might also experience an increase in these disturbing sleep phenomena. In many traditions, the presence of demons is associated with the smell of sulfur or rotting eggs. This odor might appear suddenly and without any apparent source. It might be noticed by the possessed person or by those around them. While this might sound like something from a movie, many real-life accounts of demon possession include reports of this distinctive, unpleasant odor. For individuals who previously had a strong spiritual practice or connection, demon possession often results in a sudden and complete loss of that connection. It's as if a veil has been drawn between the person and the divine. They might report feeling spiritually empty or cut off from their usual sense of higher guidance or protection. A demon-possessed person might seem to attract other negative spiritual entities or energies. You might notice an increase in paranormal activity around them, or other spiritually sensitive individuals might report seeing or sensing dark entities in their presence. It's as if the demon's presence acts as a beacon for other negative forces. Perhaps one of the most important spiritual signs is the intuitive warning you might feel in the presence of a demon-possessed person. This is often described as a deep, gut-level feeling that something is very wrong. Your intuition might be screaming at you to get away, even if you can't rationalize why. This intuitive warning is your spirit's way of protecting you from potential harm. As we discuss these spiritual signs, it's crucial to remember the importance of spiritual discernment. Not every uneasy feeling or strange occurrence is a sign of demon possession. It's important to approach these situations with a balance of openness and skepticism, always seeking wisdom and guidance from trusted spiritual advisors or leaders. While it's important to look for concrete signs and seek guidance from others, never underestimate the power of your own spiritual instincts. If you feel a persistent sense of darkness or evil around someone, pay attention to that feeling. Your spirit often perceives things that your conscious mind might miss or try to rationalize away. If multiple spiritual signs point towards the possibility of demon possession, it's crucial to seek help from experienced spiritual leaders or practitioners. Dealing with demonic forces is not something to be taken lightly or attempted without proper knowledge and spiritual authority. Remember, the goal is not just to identify possession, but ultimately to bring healing and liberation to the affected individual. Now that we've explored how to identify demon possession and energy vampires, it's crucial to learn how to protect yourself. Remember, knowledge is power, but it's how we use that knowledge that truly makes a difference in our lives. One of the most effective ways to protect yourself from negative spiritual influences is to create a spiritual shield. This isn't something physical you can see or touch, but rather an energy field you create around yourself through intention and spiritual practice. Start by visualizing a bright, protective light surrounding your entire body. This light can be whatever color feels most protective to you. Many people choose white, gold, or purple. Imagine this light forming a bubble around you, keeping negative energies out while allowing positive energies to flow freely. Practice this visualization daily, especially before entering situations where you might encounter negative energies. Your aura is your personal energy field, and keeping it strong can help protect you from both demonic influences and energy vampires. Regular meditation, prayer, or other spiritual practices can help strengthen your aura. Imagine your aura becoming brighter and more vibrant with each breath you take. A strong aura acts as a natural defense against negative energies. Many spiritual traditions use objects for protection. This might be a religious symbol like a cross or a Star of David, or it could be a crystal or amulet believed to have protective properties. The specific object doesn't matter as much as your belief in its protective power. Choose something that resonates with you personally and carry it with you or wear it as jewelry. Your physical environment can also play a role in spiritual protection. Regularly cleanse your living space using methods that align with your beliefs. This might involve burning sage, smudging, using salt, or simply opening windows and visualizing negative energy being swept out. Create a space that feels safe and peaceful to you. Both demons and energy vampires are attracted to low, negative energies. By maintaining a high vibration and positive outlook, you make yourself less attractive to these negative forces. One powerful way to maintain positive energy is through the practice of gratitude. Each day, take time to think about or write down things you're thankful for. This simple practice can shift your energy and perspective, making you more resilient to negative influences. Make time for activities that bring you joy and raise your energy. This could be anything from dancing to painting to spending time in nature. When you're filled with positive energy from doing things you love, you naturally repel negative energies. Never underestimate the protective power of laughter and humor. Watch funny movies, spend time with people who make you laugh, or find ways to inject more humor into your daily life. Laughter literally raises your energetic vibration, making you less susceptible to negative influences. Regular physical exercise isn't just good for your body. It's also a powerful way to keep your energy flowing and your spirits high. Whether it's yoga, running, swimming, or any other form of exercise you enjoy, moving your body helps clear negative energy and boost your overall vitality. When it comes to energy vampires, one of the most important skills you can develop is setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. Many energy vampires rely on your inability to say no. Practice saying no to requests or demands that drain your energy. Remember, no is a complete sentence. You don't always need to explain or justify your refusal. Sometimes, you can't completely avoid energy vampires, especially if they're family members or coworkers. In these cases, try to limit your exposure. Keep interactions brief and have an exit strategy prepared. Before interacting with known energy vampires, take a moment to visualize your protective shield. Imagine this shield deflecting their negative energy while keeping your own energy intact. When dealing with energy vampires, learn to redirect conversations away from their constant complaints or drama. Try to steer discussions towards more positive topics or, if necessary, politely excuse yourself from the conversation. If you've had to spend time with an energy vampire, practice intentional self-care afterwards. This might involve taking a bath, meditating, or engaging in a favorite hobby. The goal is to replenish your energy and shake off any negativity you might have absorbed. Remember, you don't have to face these challenges alone. Surrounding yourself with supportive, positive people can provide a buffer against negative energies. Consider joining a spiritual group or community that aligns with your beliefs. Having a network of like-minded individuals can provide support, guidance, and a sense of belonging that strengthens your spiritual defenses. If possible, seek out a spiritual mentor or guide. This could be a religious leader, a spiritual teacher, or simply someone you trust who has more experience in these matters. Their wisdom and support can be invaluable in navigating spiritual challenges. Sometimes, protecting yourself might involve seeking professional help. This could mean consulting with a therapist to develop better boundary-setting skills, or working with a spiritual healer to clear negative energies. Don't hesitate to reach out for help when you need it. Protecting yourself from demonic influences and energy vampires isn't a one-time task, but an ongoing journey. It requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and a commitment to your own well-being. Make energy cleansing a regular part of your routine. This might involve taking salt baths, using clearing visualizations, or whatever method resonates with you. Think of it as spiritual hygiene, just as important as physical hygiene. Continue to educate yourself about spiritual protection. Read books, attend workshops, or talk with spiritual leaders to deepen your understanding and expand your toolkit of protective strategies. Above all, learn to trust your intuition. Your inner guidance system is one of your most powerful tools for protection. If something feels off, pay attention to that feeling. Your intuition is often picking up on subtle energies that your conscious mind might miss. As we conclude our exploration of how to identify people possessed by demons and energy vampires, it's important to remember that this knowledge is meant to empower, not frighten. The world is full of both light and darkness, and understanding the darker aspects allows us to more fully embrace and cultivate the light. By learning to recognize the signs of demon possession and energy vampires, we've taken the first step towards protecting ourselves and others from these negative influences. We've explored the physical, emotional, and spiritual manifestations of these phenomena, giving us a comprehensive toolkit for identification. But identification is only the beginning. We've also delved into strategies for protection, from creating spiritual shields to setting healthy boundaries. We've learned the importance of maintaining our own positive energy and surrounding ourselves with supportive communities. Remember, the goal isn't to see demons and energy vampires around every corner. Rather, it's to develop a keen awareness that allows us to navigate the world more safely and positively. This awareness is a form of spiritual self-defense, enabling us to protect our energy and maintain our well-being in the face of negative influences. As you move forward, carry this knowledge with you, but do so with compassion and discernment. Not everyone who displays negative behavior is possessed or an energy vampire. Many people are simply struggling with their own challenges and pain. Our awareness should lead us to make wise choices about our interactions and energy, not to judge or condemn others. Continue to nurture your spiritual growth, strengthen your intuition, and cultivate positive energy in your life. The more you develop these aspects of yourself, the more naturally protected you'll be from negative influences. Finally, remember that you're not alone on this journey. Whether it's through spiritual communities, mentors, or trusted friends, seek support when you need it. Share your knowledge with others who might benefit from it, always with the intention of spreading more light in the world. By understanding the darkness, we become better equipped to choose and cultivate the light. May this knowledge serve as a beacon, guiding you towards greater awareness, protection, and spiritual growth in your life journey.